I'm just going to explain something real quick. This is not the flat Earth, okay? It's just a CGI depiction giving an example of how the flat Earth may work. So we have the sun that goes around above us, and that gives a direct spotlight on the Earth below it. Then we have the moon. The moon also goes around in a circle, and the stars go around in a circle. They all move around in circles above us, which we can see with our own eyes. That's why the North Star is always in the middle, and all the other stars move around in circles around it. And you can experience this, witness this with your own eyes. You can take long exposure cameras, and you can see star trails do perfect circles. Now, that would be impossible if we were spinning and orbiting the sun and hurling through space to the Milky Way galaxy, and all those movements are not what we see. The heliocentric model is a lie. So, you see, it's daytime over here right now because the sun's here. As the sun moves around, the spotlight moves around. Okay, and actually because of the firmament, the spotlight's a little bit bigger, and when in the summer it moves closer to the Tropic of Cancer, and then as it turns to fall, it widens. Okay, and then when it gets to winter, it makes the widest circle around the Tropic of Capricorn. So it goes from the Tropic of Capricorn in December, and then starts moving closer to going around above the equator, then starts going around above the Tropic of Cancer, and it gets smaller and smaller until July, when it goes around in its smaller circle. And you can see this. That's why the sun is closer to right above our heads when it's summertime. And when it's wintertime, it's lower in the sky because it's further away due to perspective. And the sun setting is just the sun going beyond our perspective, or where the eyes can see. That's why you can literally see the sun set and then take out a camera, zoom in, and bring the sun back into focus. If you have a strong enough zoom camera, if it hasn't been too long since it's gone beyond your perspective. And when the sun's low, right on the horizon, if you zoom in, it will rise up because it's zooming in. So the perspective, the position of the observer is changing because you're zooming in with your camera. And Polaris never moves. If the Earth was spinning and going around the sun, Polaris wouldn't maintain its position in the sky at all times. Additionally, stars are all relatively the same distance away. If they were different distances away, what would happen is, based on where you stand, your perspective, the position of the observer, would change. And when that happens, if they were different distances away, like claimed, then the pattern of the stars would be different. That's why what I see, if I take a picture from one side of a forest of a bunch of trees and someone else, and all the trees are different distances away, and someone else stands 100 feet from me and takes a picture of the same trees, the pattern of the trees is going to be different based on the perspective of the observer's position. So I was typing out a little post earlier, so I figured I'd screenshot it and just read it to you. Because, everybody has to know this. If the Earth was a ball, airplanes would have to go around the curve. But all airplane flights are straight and level, which is evidenced in the chemtrails that they leave behind. You will never see a chemtrail that curves around a ball. Furthermore, you will never see clouds curving around the ball. The bottoms of cloud formations are always 100% flat and level. The truth is available. All you have to do is give it a chance. The controllers of this realm we live on, they want you to think the Earth is a spinning ball. So they have indoctrinated people to think the flat Earth is stupid and idiotic. But every bit of evidence supports the flat Earth, and a lot of the evidence would be absolutely impossible if we lived on a ball, such as gyroscope sensors, sonar, okay? Lasers. They have lasers that go over 7 miles of frozen ice and 7 miles over a lake. And that 7 miles, there's spherical trigonometry, and there's an Earth curvature calculator where you can actually measure how much curvature there's supposed to be in that 7-mile distance. And I think it's about 32 feet of curvature, roughly. It's 8 inches per mile squared. So when you take a piece of cardboard and shoot a laser onto it and make sure that laser is level, and then you mark on that piece of cardboard every mile you go where that laser hits, and it hits the same spot for 7 miles straight, you know that it's not curved. Because if it was curved, the laser would actually hit above it and higher and higher. And eventually the laser would go right over it because you went around the curve. What did they teach you in school? They taught you that boats go over the curve, and that's the curvature of the Earth. But if you look out, there's an XY axis and a Z axis. I believe that is a Z and a Y axis. I believe the Y axis is straight. Let's say the Y axis is straight and the Z axis is across. If the Y axis, that's straight, is only 3 miles, and the Z axis is 10 miles, how can it curve and make boats disappear in 3 miles, but in 10 miles across, there's no curvature and it's 100% level? And when you rise up, the horizon always rises to eye level, which would be impossible because if you're on a ball, the further you see, the lower it would be because it's going around a curve. And city skylines from long distances, they'd eventually start tilting back because they're going around the ball, even if it's slightly. But it's been measured that they're still at a 90-degree angle. The thing about smoking guns is that you only need one. There's 0 smoking guns that prove the Earth is not a flat and stationary plane. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of smoking guns that prove the Earth is not a spinning ball. The heliocentric model of our universe is indoctrination and absolutely impossible based on actual scientific evidence. Testable, measurable, repeatable. The fact that they pay scientists to push a false narrative does not mean that the science is actually science. Not all that is claimed to be science is actually science. A lot of the mainstream popular science that controls the majority of people's belief systems is not science at all. It's propaganda. It's paid advertising. And you need faith to believe it, which makes it a religion. It's actually a religion. And if you look at the NASA logo, and then there's a little red logo in it, NASA with this little red thing that looks like a T, that's an anagram. For who? Satan. You know, they're paying homage. And they're getting people to believe in this false religion because, think about it, when you thought that, oh my God, if it's a ball, then God's not real. I thought that. Their purpose is to literally hide God. You know, to hide our true nature, to hide our connection with this world, this beautiful world that we were giving. And this pseudoscience they're giving us, it's done under the protection and support of the government and government agencies that are also propaganda machines. I guarantee that not one person can prove the Earth is not flat. If it was stupid, it wouldn't be so hard to prove it to be false. It can't be proven false, and that's why it's even an issue. The spinning ball has been proven wrong since thousands of years ago. The simple fact that the narrative doesn't reflect that is not evidence. So just because you're being taught that it's a ball doesn't mean it's a ball. Okay? Just because you're taught something doesn't make it true. What did we learn? We learned a lot of the things we learned in school were not actually true. History is his story, told by the victors. Okay? So, I'm going to end at that, and I hope this gives you something to think about. And, you know, I just want healthy conversation. You know, they want you to call me stupid and say you're stupid, you didn't go to school, did you eat paint chips, are you retarded? But at the end of the day, I'm just a seeker of truth. That's all. Okay? If someone can prove that we live on a ball, I would believe it. But nobody's ever proven it. All that's been proven, based on my own research, my own investigation, and all the information I have available to me, the only thing that's actually been proven is that it's a flat, motionless plane. So, also don't mix the heliocentric and geocentric models. This is not floating in outer space. Okay, we don't know what's beyond the wall because they won't let us go there. So follow, like, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe anything I say. I'm always wrong. If you want to be wrong with me.